Hi, Mark and Tamil Kenny with Think Multifamily. We're here to talk to you today about step 3, finding deals, when we're talking specifically about finding apartment deals.
Yeah, cool. So people say, there are no deals out there.
Right. We do hear that a lot.
Well, we find there are too many deals out there, right? The problem is finding good deals, right? So, we'll talk a couple things here about how can you find a deal. I mean, one way is to have a relationship with brokers, right?
Right.
You have brokers, and this is selling broker, right? Someone that actually sells deals. So a lot of people will say, well, I don't want to talk to brokers because, everything they list is too expensive, whatever it may be, right? So,
right.
And that can be true for some brokers, right?
Right.
But
we do know certain brokers who tend to sell higher priced apartment buildings, right? And there are certain ones that we like to follow. Right.
But for us, we have found that building relationships with the brokers, which takes time.
It does.
So if you don't have a relationship, find someone maybe that does. But the whole idea is once they figure out that, hey, you're legit, you can close deals, and you're easy to work with. That's a key, right?
That is key.
You're easy to work with.
Yes.
Then they're going to bring you typically more and more deals. And some of these deals could be completely off market, nobody else involved, or maybe a handful of people involved. It doesn't mean you're going to kill a deal necessarily, but it just needs to be a good deal, right? That meets your criteria.
Right. It doesn't have to be a home run.
Right.
That would be awesome, but sometimes just first base or second base is perfect.
Yeah. And, meet the brokers. Get on their mailing list, right?
Right.
Get on, meet them for coffee, meet them for lunch, wherever it may be. Talk to them, but build that relationship.
That's right. Sometimes brokers will attend local events in your area. You might want to find out when those events are going to be and go and network specifically with those brokers.
Yeah, perfect. So the other one I would say is go directly to a seller. Okay. Right? So a lot of people we talk to will say all they're doing is calling sellers, right? But the whole idea is that the brokers are calling those sellers too, right?
Right.
For deals.
Yes.
So let's say you go start building a relationship with, a half a dozen sellers, and they just decide not to sell. Right. So you wasted all that time, right? Yeah. And I'm not saying don't do this, but when it's the only thing you're doing, right, you're probably shortchanging yourself. You want to also talk to brokers.
Right. So we actually met somebody who was talking specifically to one particular seller. This agent spent a lot of time talking to that seller, and a broker came in and started talking to that seller, and that broker got the listing. So all that time that person spent talking to the seller was wasted because now the broker has the listing.
Yeah, true. There's some online, let's say LoopNet, for example. We don't use LoopNet a lot. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it.
Right. Although we did, when we kind of started, we did look at LoopNet specifically, just kind of trying to build maybe new relationships with brokers we didn't already know.
Right.
Right. So we were looking at which broker had which deal. Were they really listing just small apartment buildings, or did they have something big that they were working with?
And again, nothing wrong with it. You could find a deal there, but if it's the only thing you're doing, it's not good. You want to do as many of these as you can.
Right. Apartmentbuildings.com. Apartmentbuildings.com is actually another really good resource to find properties that are for sale and to meet some brokers that you don't already know. Yep, apartmentbuildings.com.
Trying to...
Apartment buildings. We're going to cross out that S.
Okay. So what else, I guess? Those are really the main ones. We have found that brokers in particular, right, has been best for us.
Right.
Because we build the relationships and they have access to a lot of deals.
Right.
And now they bring us a lot of deals that nobody else gets to see. They're never listed.
Right, and you talked a little bit about being easy to work with. So you and I have both had the experience of working with brokers who liked us, and we had a partner who, we'll just say, he wasn't tactful with how he treated people. So you definitely want to use tact, whether you agree or disagree with the conversations, because brokers like to do business with those they like and that they trust.
Same with sellers.
Yes,
right? So
absolutely.
Brokers are the conduit into the seller. So if the broker likes you, they're going to typically, say a good word into the seller. So that's key.
That helps.
So there are other ways as well, kind of, go to different meetings like you mentioned, things like that. But those are kind of the main ones. And if you don't have already a track record, I would recommend you find somebody that does and hook up with them. Maybe they have relationships you don't have.
Right, absolutely. That's all for finding deals. Stay tuned for step 4. Bye for now.
Bye.